it definitely reveals your heart and where your values lie, depending on like kind of how you craft your list. And I think it can also reveal some insecurities that you have. If you have on there, I need someone that like plays guitar and sings, but you don't do that and you're not like, I don't know, in that industry or something. It's like, okay, why do I feel the need for someone else to have this quality that I don't possess and I don't plan on having?
Hello and welcome to the Christians Who Date podcast with Andrea, Allie, and friends.
I'm friend number 1, Callie Christopherson.
Friend number 2, Lauren Bornique. And Andrea, you look like you're 13 right now with your little cozy get up right now.
I'm so cozy.
With your blanket and your cozy sweatshirt, and you look like it's cold, but it's like probably 90 degrees
Probably
out
so
in Austin.
hot right now.
Well, my roommates like to keep it cold, so here we are. But yeah, it is hot outside. Yeah. I was gonna say something else, and then it totally went out the back of my head.
That now made me think about I'm like, is my bathroom door open? Okay, good. Because I have my air conditioner on and I have my bathroom door window open. And so I have to keep that closed so the AC doesn't get out. Because I'm a woman on a budget.
That's
Glad
right.
we checked that out.
But I'm good now. I'm good. I'm back in the pod.
Yeah. I was going to say, you can tell that we're 30 on this podcast because we are prioritizing back support. Like more and more.
Yeah, we totally need it.
Yeah.
Comfiness as well. Like we got to be comfy, cute, and supported.
I was at the chiropractor today and a girl I know from church walked up and she was like, "Oh, hey, what's up? I didn't know you were going here." And then it was so good to see her. But then it was like, she's like, how did you get here, basically? And I'm like, ah, dang it. Because it's such a dumb reason.
Motorcycle accident.
I know. I wish I had a cool reason. But I was like, dude, I don't even. And she's like, it's okay. One time I like threw out my back, like sneezing.
Okay, everyone needs to do strength training.
And I was like, yeah, I was sitting on like a bar stool at a coffee shop and I like shifted in my seat and the middle of my upper back like started having like this really bad pinched nerve that moved up to my neck. And 3 months later, here we are. I'm at the chiropractor.
But Dre, you know what's really been helping you is my Mommy Pooch series that I've been sending you, right?
I just got back into it. Yeah.
Dude, it does help the core though. Am I right?
It does help the core. Yeah, it helps my lower back, which apparently the chiropractor said was related to my neck. Like it's all related to my neck. My neck is the real problem. But I was like, strengthening my core right now is not a bad idea.
No, summer.
I need to help this process out. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to show that core. And also like, what is it? Low-waisted bathing suits and pants are back in, I guess.
They shouldn't be.
Low-waisted stuff is in. I know it's okay to be high-rise, but I'm just saying some people are doing low-waisted things.
Yeah.
Either way, beautiful. But for those that don't know, her name is Lauren Fitter. I'm not joking. I don't think her last name really is Fitter. But if you look it up, she has this like 10-week Mommy Pooch series for anyone who wants to strengthen their core. And it's like 10-minute exercises. And I send it to all my friends, even if they've not had babies or have Mommy Pooches. Do not be offended. It just builds up your core.
It builds up your core. And yeah, I was not thinking about low-rise jeans. I honestly was just like, I gotta get the most bang for my buck out of this chiropractor.
That's right.
Whoa. Oh, sorry for yelling.
Yeah.
Some passion there.
Let's get to the real meat today. Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Bachelor in Paradise.
I know nothing.
Okay, I just found this out seconds ago because I have not watched the latest episode yet. But Callie, who is now, I was gonna say on the beach, but can we even say on the beach anymore?
They're at a resort
like at a
now.
Hotel resort this season.
It's different.
Yeah,
but I like it though.
Okay,
it's less of a mission trip vibe and more of like a genuine luxury experience, like probably actual paradise, but
It was, yeah. It really was giving mission
Yeah.
trip, if I could speak like Gen Z.
it does.
Yeah.
Okay. This man is very near and dear to Andrea and I's hearts. Andrew S. He was on Katie Thurston's season, and he's this Black man who is hilarious and charming and just precious. And Andrea and he is our only mutual crush we've ever had.
We've never
before?
overlapped on a crush
Nope.
until Andrew S.
We're both
We
like,
love him.
yep, he's just so
Yeah.
great.
He's
we
just everything.
We have a
So
great
charming.
story regarding him. So,
Yes.
Andrea, do you want to tell it?
Your claim to fame.
Yeah. So Callie came to Austin. This was like a couple years ago. It was like when I had first moved.
Yeah. It was
Within
like
months of me moving.
22. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had heard maybe through Instagram that
Think so.
Andrew S. and another Bachelor contestant, Greg, they're like besties.
Oh,
And they do a lot of funny Instagram videos together. And I think they lived together for a while.
Wait, I feel like one of my other friends has a crush on this guy. I have to look him up as you're talking. Continue.
Wait, are you talking about Greg? A lot of people have a crush on Greg, but
Yeah.
I
he's
think
not.
Andrew S, but maybe I'm wrong.
Andrew S is who you should really have a crush on.
Okay,
Greg's like,
continue. But I think people have talked about Andrew S.
yeah, Greg's like the cliche crush. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, yeah, okay, we all have a crush on Greg, whatever. But Andrew S is
the real
gem. Anyway, so we are going on the trail around Town Lake, the hike and bike trail. And I think I was just taking a random video of Callie because I love doing that. I just, out of nowhere, just start filming her and giving her like some prompts, some questions.
Of course.
And I was like, I forgot. We were just goofing around. I forgot what we even said, but I was like, Andrew S., where are you?
Yep.
I thought you were in Austin this weekend. And then because we were a little unhinged, we were like, let's tag him. So we tagged him in our story. And later that night, I was looking at who had watched it. And lo and behold, Andrew S. watched our story. And he was probably like, what the going on here?
And we lost our minds. We would have thought like he DM'd us or something. Nothing happened, but we like started screaming.
No, literally, you would have thought that he had given us some actual attention, but no.
I mean, he watched your story maybe for a moment. So.
Crumbs of attention. We were like,
we were swooning.
Yeah, I have actually sent him a DM before. He's never seen it.
What did you say?
Wait, what was your DM?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want me to try to pull it up?
Bring it up.
Okay.
Bring it up.
Andrew, literally,
I'm like nervous now.
Honestly,
what did you say?
I should slide into DMs of people that like would actually date me, but I never do. It's always
you always go to like these guys that are bachelors in paradise.
Yeah. It's
he
always
has
like
a lot of open shirt pictures, which is interesting. But as I'm looking at him, a lot of chest pictures.
Really? Are you? What are you looking? Oh, okay.
Just images on Google.
I mean, he is on the beach currently, so maybe that's why.
That's true. We just don't know.
Oh my gosh, I have DM'd him twice.
What? Okay, tell us now. Tell us now. This is great confession. This is good stuff. I didn't even know.
This is ridiculous. Okay.
And what was the year?
Andrew, OMG, I just listened to you and Greg on Nick Viall's podcast, and you guys should definitely come to Austin. It's a great town. You're both great. You would love it. Party emoji. It must have been on Nick's podcast. That's where we heard it.
Oh.
Anyway, obviously I was influential.
When was this?
Because they talked about this was 2022.
Okay, let's hear the next one.
Okay, March 8th, 2022 is when I mentioned him in my story with Callie. And then November 17th, 2022. Just watched the latest episode of Bachelor in Paradise. And you were the kindest man throughout this whole season. You handled some difficult situations really well. So glad you were on VIP this year.
I cannot believe you did this.
You
Oh my
can't.
gosh.
I'm like, yeah, I did
No,
this.
I didn't know you had like the gusto to do these things.
I
To
just
like
you
DM
hear them.
random strangers.
You hear them talking about all the hate that they get, and I
It's
just
true.
want to be encouraging.
You're also like, if you're open, let's date.
We can
Like
also
that's literally
date.
what you're saying. That's what you're literally saying. I just want to give an announcement to Dustin. What's his name? Andrew. Andrew S. Not Dustin S. Andrew, if you're
Andrew,
out there, Andrea's interested. Just she's open.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, just I wouldn't actually date him because he doesn't love Jesus.
Doesn't
but
love the
We don't,
Lord.
yet,
right, okay,
we don't
totally.
know.
Yeah,
God,
we don't know.
do a thing, do a miracle.
Work your
He
magic.
doesn't ever talk about it. But I can just tell that our values don't necessarily
Oh
align.
my gosh, that goes perfectly into our segue for what we're talking about today as well.
Does actually.
It does so well. Such a good segue.
I got to get rid of these pictures so my boyfriend doesn't think I'm checking this guy out.
Even though low key you were.
Yeah,
Just
she's
kidding.
like,
Not
what does
for
he look
yourself,
like?
but
Oh my
you're
gosh,
trying
I
to
was
figure.
just-
You're like, who has gotten 2 DMs from me, Andrea?
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay. Anyway, today we are talking about the list.
Dun dun dun.
The famous dating list. You know, should you have a list? Do we have lists? Do we recommend that other people make lists? Should you just toss the list out the window because it's silly?
Mhm.
Those are all the hard-hitting questions we're going to tackle today. Did you guys
Yeah.
want to add any others?
We want to preface today that we are not dating theologians, but we will share from our own history, our list series and stories and
Yes.
experience.
Yep.
Were you trying to make that like last week's episode?
Yes.
You know what's funny
Yes.
is that I said that and then I was like, I think I talked about the Bible the most that
Yes.
episode, like
Yes.
No,
than
it was
any
like,
other
it
one.
was like my favorite though, because you're like, we are not theologians, and then Andrea's like, according to research and scripture here, and I'm like, okay, theologian
She
lady.
is a theologian.
So I wanted to preface today that I am not a theologian when it comes to the list.
I don't want the real theologians to come after me and be like, actually, that's not what it meant
I mean,
in the
that's what-
original.
Oh my. Well, I'm thankful for them in their studies. So okay, should we get into it? What's the
Get
first
into it.
question?
The first question is, have you guys ever had a list? Do you currently have a list?
Whoa.
Yes.
Lots of questions.
And would you like to share anything that's on it or was on it, or even just like maybe the process of making a list? Why did you decide to make a list? Do you still hold to this list?
Whoa.
How many times can we say the word list?
Yeah.
Listen up. No, just
Oh
kidding.
my gosh.
Whoa, dad joke.
All right. I'll jump in.
Let's go,
I-
Callie.
Jump in, Cal.
I do have a list. I've
Ooh.
always had one, but it has like changed over the years. And I've added some things, I've refined other things, but I think I'm the kind of person that I just like to be able to like take the thoughts out of my head and put them on paper and be like, okay, that is what I'm looking for. Because otherwise, I just notice I kind of like people with similar like things about them, but I'm not really sure what it is necessarily. And so for me, a list is really helpful because it's like, oh, I really like guys who are sarcastic. I really like guys who are really kind. I like guys who are really like selfless, things like that. It just helps me be like, oh, those are the like character traits I really like in somebody. And also that can look really different on different people, but I think being able to kind of track exactly what the characteristic is has been really helpful for me. So that's what I've done. And yeah, like I can read some of the things I have on my list, but I would say there are more like character traits, but I have like funny, generous, handsome, creative, intentional, gives me crap. That's like a thing that I'm like, oh, I would really love it if the person I'm with did that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And so I think I said kind already, but those are like the main ones. And then I have some like, oh, I put self-aware on my list as well. I was like, that's important to
Nice.
me. So yeah, those are like the basics. And I feel like when I was younger, I definitely had like probably more specific things about the way that like he would look. But now
Mhm.
I would say I have like certain things I really like in somebody like physically, but also I've just been like super open. I'm like, if there's attraction there, that's like all that matters for me. So yeah.
That's good stuff.
What about you guys?
I think in at least in Christian culture, I've experienced where people like at an early age are like, write a letter to your husband. This was like in middle school,
Yeah.
I feel like, or like your future husband. I don't know where that letter is, but I feel like I did one. And then kind of like, I will stay pure for you, you know,
Yeah.
like that type of thing. But I do feel like I was making lists at like an early age, which I don't think is bad. I think that's good to like figure out like what does a healthy human look like, or what are some attributes that you feel like would be like of a healthy person that you date, so then you know who to date that's like healthy or not. And so I definitely feel like I would make these lists, but I think it was just because I was like, please God, hear my cry. I want the perfect man. You know, like I think I just
Yeah.
really wanted someone so perfect to save me. If I like go deeper and thinking about like why I had the certain things I did on my list when I was younger, my mom always was like, Lauren, your list is very vain. Like, and I was like, no, I
Called it
just like good.
out.
I was like, no, I just like good looking people that are like successful. And she's like, no, I think you're like a little too picky. And so, which is funny. Moms sometimes say it like straight. And I think I was like, oh, I want someone that's going to make me look good when I was little. Little as
Yeah.
in probably 20s. If I confess
When I was
truly.
little, 16 years ago.
Yeah, like just a couple years ago, maybe. So I think though the more I dated, the more my list would change, where I realized more and more like, okay, what actually I think that's why I like think dating is really helpful if you get the opportunity. Of course, if you meet someone you're like, no, I just want to do life with them and they're a healthy human, great, stick with them. You don't need to keep dating. But because of all these dating experiences, I feel like I've learned more of what really makes a good relationship versus not. Like what actually are the building blocks of like a really happy life, more than just like these outer things that I think are going to make me like super super happy in
Yeah.
life, or help me have like a really great relationship. Like I almost put it all on the guy to have all these amazing attributes, instead of just being like, what's actually the depth of like good character and like loves God and is humble and teachable, like these characteristics that actually are, I'm like, oh, this is gonna make life really fun, and really good, like good sense of humor. I think I've always had that one though. So I feel like my list has changed. And then I went through a pretty bad breakup of a guy that I was pretty serious with a couple years ago. And I think after that, I demolished all lists. Like, or like I had a list, dated a guy that really met that list. That didn't work. Dated another guy that kind of met the list, but I wanted to be more serious with that guy. That relationship didn't work. And then I demolished all lists. I think I was like super hopeless and just kind of like heartbroken by the those failed relationships.
Yeah.
And then a year ago, I feel like God finally gave me like hope to write a list again. And I just found it. I'm not going to do all of it. I wrote 60 things on it, which is crazy to say that I wrote 60 things. But I think what it was for me is not like this guy needs to meet all of this, but it was for me to be able to dream again of
Yeah.
like a healthy man that I could date and marry. And so, and like some of them are just like, yeah, caring. I said personable, funny, athletic, family oriented, adventurous, and I mean I could keep going on. Some of them were like super like no mental health issues. Like very just like straightforward.
Yeah.
Which I think it's okay. And it's not like I'm going and like even my boyfriend now I'm not like, all right, do you fit this list? But
Yeah.
I've kind of gone I've narrowed the list down to more values, like my top 4 or 5 values. And I think that's something that is really important. If you have like a super long list, like go through and figure out themes. And those themes are probably like really deep core values that you have. And
That's
so
good.
stick to like those 4 to 5 values when you're trying to date someone and just see like, do they align with these values I have? And if not, then like kind of highlight that as you're dating them or as you're moving along in life. Or maybe it's like, okay, that value is actually not that big of a deal to me as much as I thought. And so then reevaluating. So that's a little bit. What about you, Dre?
I was gonna say, whoa, Lauren, don't go into the next phase of our podcast
I
yet.
can't help it. It just came to mind.
Okay, I know I've made a list before. When I was young, I did not make a list ever. I think I had one in my head, but I didn't actually like write it down. Because I never did. I don't know. There was like this punk part of me that was like, I'm not gonna like write letters to my husband or like make a list or like I was like, maybe I'll pray for him, like maybe.
Maybe.
So that's why I'm still
Cool.
single.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, look where we are
My
now.
mom's been praying though to make up for it.
Yeah, if
But
your
anyway.
mom's praying, dude, you're gonna be
She's
married
been
in like
praying.
next year.
But I know at one point I was sitting across from one of my married friends and she encouraged me to make a list. And I know that I did, and I just tried to find it on my phone and I can't find it. So, yeah, I have made them before, but I honestly, it's not something I ever like took super seriously. And like, I don't know, I probably went back to that list once maybe or twice. It's not, I'm like, I don't know if I could even tell you what was on there. Like, I know my mental list has always been the same. Like, it's like, I just really want someone who loves Jesus. And, I definitely have like preferences. Like, I also like when guys give me crap.
Come on.
And yeah, I had definitely had some dumb things which we can get into later, like when I was younger, that weren't
We can
like
share
officially
now.
on a list. No, I'm keeping this podcast in segments.
You told us to tell about our past, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, continue.
But yeah, all that to say, I feel like I've had an interesting relationship with the list. I think I'm like, I see like the benefits of it, I guess, but I think I was just always like, I always felt like I needed to be open. I don't know. Maybe too open. I was like, in hindsight, maybe I could have like avoided some dating.
I think
But
it's funny
anyway.
because you're such a like journaler and you write all the
Yeah.
time. So I would be like, oh, I
True.
would think you would have one for sure.
I think
I
she has a
know.
subconscious list
I do have a
because
subconscious one
you
for
have
sure.
themes. You have themes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I for sure have a subconscious one. I just like I was too rebellious to like write it down. I don't know
She's so rebellious.
I love
what inside of me needed to like rebel against like writing down a list for your husband. I don't know.
I love that your rebellion is basically like being open.
Yeah. But then I definitely feel like I've seen you like crying, praying for your future husband. Like praying for him.
You've
in my
definitely
brain.
seen me crying and praying, but was it for my future husband?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. She's always crying and praying, so that's like a normal thing. But for her husband, maybe I'm the one crying and praying for your future husband. Probably.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think I always was like, I might end up single. I feel like I always like that was kind of in my head somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. This is me processing in real time. I'm like, this is like kind of funny, but all that to say, I have had a list. I lost it, and yeah,
Here we are.
and I couldn't pull it up.
That's good.
Okay, well, let's see. Lauren, you mentioned that you have met someone that checked every box but still wasn't the one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to talk any more about that?
Yeah. I mean, I dated someone who I at the time was like, this is it. This is who I'm gonna marry. They meet my list.
He met
And
my list for you. I
yeah,
was
like
like,
I
this is
had
the
this
guy.
I had this list and I dated him and it was like, when you're it just how what is it? I don't know how to like a good analogy. Basically, it's like we just did not with the more we got to know each other, interpersonally, it was like clink, 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 like so the interpersonal was like huge. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh, you're like great on paper, but when it comes to like the day in and out, like how we function together would never have worked. Like I remember being like, is this going to be my life? Like we do
Oh
so many
no.
different things that are opposite of each other. Like this person
Yeah.
loved to on Sundays like watch TV and stay inside. On Sundays, I want to go trail running and be outside the entire day. And like literally last Sunday, my boyfriend and I ran 8 miles in the morning trail running, and then we ran 8 miles at night trail running for fun. That's what we
For
do
fun.
for fun. Like, so this other person, like interpersonally, I was like, oh, this is like not life giving, but they were that list. And so it just like took time to realize like, oh, just because they're your list doesn't mean like it's going to work interpersonally between your relationship or if there's in everyday life. Cause you really need someone who's going to match you more like in you're one day going to live with them, be roommates with them, that you guys can be like best friends and not just like this
Yeah.
kind of image of like this perfect human. You need someone who's relatable that can literally be family for you. Not only like your lover, sounds so intense, but your best friend. And so you need
Yeah.
both of that. So yeah. So I dated someone
Yeah.
who had the list and they were not my best friend. I liked them, but I was like, you're not my best friend. And I thought
Yeah.
maybe at the time that was okay. And then I realized, oh, it's way better if like you date your best friend.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think
Wow.
that's a good story because I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't had that. I've never dated anyone that I was like, oh my gosh, yes, he checks every box.
Yeah.
So vicariously living through you, I was like, this is so interesting because you have dated other people that did not check
All
your
the
boxes in
box.
the same way that you've like actually just really enjoyed being with them.
Yeah. So you learn a
So,
lot. That's why I'm like, if you get the opportunity to date, I don't like want people to date forever, but if you can have that, I think you'll learn so much about yourself of like what works well or not, because
yeah.
if not it's just like in your head. Like before that guy, a lot of it was like in my head. It was, what is it, ethereal. Like I was like, I think this is what I want or need, and then like lived out, you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
definitely not what I wanted or needed.
Mm.
So there you go.
Yeah. Callie, have you ever dated someone or met someone who checked every box?
Oh, good question.
No.
Great.
If
Great
I
answer.
had, I would probably, be married to them or not, because according, just like Lauren's thing, it's like, oh, there have been a few people that met like most of the things on my list, but we're missing really big pieces. Like one guy, we got along so well, so many things aligned, but he didn't love Jesus. I'm like, that's clearly not gonna go anywhere. And
Yeah.
somebody else, so many things, like he loved Jesus, he was so great with people, like we had a great time together, but he was not self-aware at all, and
Oof.
like would just do things that I'm like, this I feel like anyone could see how this doesn't make sense and how you're being confusing and you're not communicating, and there's so many things here. So that was like basically the death of that, because I was just like, I cannot be with somebody that's not aware of how they're affecting me or isn't really interested in learning that. So those are like probably the closest things that I've been like, oh yeah, they have so many qualities, but just, yeah, we're missing really big things. So
Yeah.
that was me. Yeah. Andrea?
I feel like if I have met somebody who had everything on my list, they were like out of my league.
No such thing.
It's not true. Every
I'm
dude's
like,
out of
who
your
is
league.
out of your
Wait, what
league?
the heck? Trey, are you kidding me?
Like they were like, you know, like the person that like everyone liked or something like that, where I was just like, I don't
So
know.
they were more of like maybe a little bit of a fantasy. Like
Probably, yeah.
whoever this guy is, Andrew S.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I think sometimes if you don't know someone super well, you can fill in the blanks with what you want. So
Mhm.
maybe
Yes,
that
that's
was,
what I did.
yeah, maybe that was part of it. Yeah. But anyway, all that to say, I didn't actually get to date them, so I didn't have that moment where I was like, wait a minute, this isn't all I thought it was gonna be cracked up to be.
There you go.
Okay. So this is just like one more funny one. What's the most either unrealistic or petty thing you had on your list?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think for me, it was that they needed to like play music because I don't. I wanted them to like sing, be really good at sing and like instrumental because I was like I'm bad at both, and so I'm like teach it to our kids like. So I always like that was like so cool, and now I'm like nah, whatever. I kind of like it when people are off tune. Like I kind of like it when they're not good at that. Like it's funny. Like so yeah. I used to really like it's like the worship leaders. You're like whoa,
Yeah.
So
Those worship leaders.
Yeah.
the worship leaders,
Those
they
worship
get you.
leaders.
They get you.
Get you good.
Definitely when I was in high school, never wrote this down, but I definitely dismissed a couple guys who liked me because they either weren't in a sport or I was on varsity and they were JV.
Oh,
Savage.
so savage. Dre was savage in high school. Savage Dre dog.
I was, yeah. I was like, what?
Dude.
Like, I'm better at soccer than you? Like, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
My
my
favorite thing
word.
about you is hearing about competitive Dre. Like, cause you like Dre is like the best friend. Like you're just like, oh, you're so awesome. And then she has the spicy side that's savage. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it.
It's so
That's sav.
good.
That's
No,
savage.
I was so like literally there's so much about life since high school that has humbled me. I was such a like I don't know. I was
You
a
were a
little bit
queen.
cocky.
Were
Yeah,
you a
I was a little
homecoming
cocky.
queen? Like I feel like you were like a prom queen or something
I
in my
was
brain.
prom queen.
What?
Yes,
I
she
don't think I
was.
knew that.
Oh,
You
it's a
you just
great
asked
story.
about it. You knew that.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Really?
I just literally was like guessing because I'm like just everything you're saying. I'm like I feel like you were a prom queen.
I was prom queen. I
Wow.
was nominated for homecoming.
See,
And
this
when I
girl
got nominated, the
ruled the school
cheerleaders were very mad. They didn't like
It's like a
because you were a
movie.
that I
commoner,
was nominated. Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't like that one of the commoners got nominated.
but you were
Um,
varsity.
Yeah.
yeah, but I was like,
Oh
well, you
my
guys have to
gosh.
be in a sport. So, no.
Oh my gosh.
Dang. There it
This
is
is
again.
amazing. This is amazing. Wow. Okay, Callie,
The
you got
real
it.
Dre is coming up.
I
But
love it. Yeah,
also,
no,
I thought
finish.
you guys were
Yes.
going to roast me for that just because of how much I talk about how I used to be an athlete. And this is like not even a
Oh,
part of my life now.
we
So
know
the
that you're a
fact
current athlete right now. The way that you talk about mommy pooch and walking backwards, we know that you actually it's your pickleball that's impressive. You always talk about pickleball.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I am a pickleball athlete now. But anyway, it's funny like in high school you're like, yeah, it needs to be like this. And now I'm like that was like there's no point to that.
It's
So good.
Well,
Okay, Callie, over to
okay.
you.
My things were more like what I really don't want. So
Oh, we know. Very specific.
I
Yeah.
didn't want someone too tall.
Yes, I love
Because
this.
I just, pretty much every woman besides me wants someone who is like at least 6 foot or taller. And anytime I'm around a really tall guy, I feel like a child. And so I'm like, I don't like want to be around a really tall guy and have to like kiss them. Like I would just feel weird.
Hurt
And
your
so
neck.
I went on a date with a guy once who was like 6'4", and I was like, we we did get along really well, but I was like, this could be interesting because he's so tall,
Oh my
and
gosh.
didn't go anywhere. Another thing was I didn't really like it if a guy was really into sports, which I am
Callie's like really
now.
helped Andrea and me out. Like she's taking the
Yeah,
guys that,
I'm like,
we wouldn't date.
I'm taking the other people that, yeah, nobody wants apparently. I don't know, but sorry.
I'm like,
But
why isn't he into sports? Because every man in my family is into sports.
yeah,
So I'm immediately like, wait, what?
but ironically, I'm now dating someone who loves pretty
He
much any
loves
sport.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
And
so
is
I'm
funny.
tall.
he's not really
He's
tall
not
though.
6'4"
He's
though.
he's
Oh
like
well.
he's about 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the person's tall. That
Yeah.
person, I can't say their name.
Yeah. Lauren's been banned from saying it.
Can't name drop, I guess,
Yeah.
on this podcast like I
Don't
thought.
make me edit out this name again.
And then okay, the last one I have, which everybody loves this one. I've
I'm
I've
sorry.
I've never been attracted to people when they have accents.
Oh, I didn't know it. I didn't know it was this one. Whoa, this is a loop.
Yeah. I know. It's true. Like I don't know what it is, but something about like when someone has an accent, like I have seen a guy that I was like, "Oh, he's attractive." And then he comes up to me and had a really like thick, I think it was like Swedish accent, and the attraction left immediately. I'm like, "Oh,
It left.
Crazy.
and I know
So
so many
wild.
girls that love guys with accents and thinks it's so exotic, and I just have never felt that way. So, yep. Those are my
Callie,
things.
yours are my favorite. Another one I
I
remember you
love
saying
hers.
is you said, I like distinctly remember this at the time. You're like, I don't want a guy who's like too fit because it'll be like too firm when I hug him. You didn't want him to be too fit. Do you remember this?
Who is this woman?
Yeah,
but
you're like, I want it to be a little bit softer when I hug him. That's what I
well,
feel like you
maybe.
said.
I guess that could be because I think about, because I have had some guys hug me that are really fit, and it's just like, you're like, ah. So, yeah,
Callie hurts her face on their muscles.
they're too tall and they're like, yeah, there's too much going on there.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh, so good.
When you hug Lauren, is it okay? Are her muscles too?
I
Well,
have
that's
to
because
just
I'm a
gently,
woman.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
soft. You know what I
She's still a
mean?
little soft in the best way. Yep. Wow.
Wow.
Can you tell the people how our friend Jess described your type? I wish she was here right now.
Oh man. Okay, what I remember her saying is she's like, whoever Callie ends up with, you like basically wouldn't even be able to pick him out of a lineup. I just wanted him a little bit taller than me, and I had like very basic things of what I wanted in somebody. And so she was like, Callie's just gonna end up with this like average Joe that nobody noticed or something like that.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah.
So there you go. I love
There you
that.
go.
So funny. Okay, now we're gonna go a little deeper. Are you
Ooh.
guys ready?
Let's
Ready.
go.
What do you think the list reveals about what we value or
Ooh.
fear?
Wow.
I know. Let that sink in.
You want to repeat it once more?
What do you think the list reveals about what we value or what we fear?
Is
I
this more
think-
like, oh yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead, Cal.
I think, I mean, you can take it a couple different directions, but it definitely reveals your heart and where your values lie, depending on like kind of how you craft your list. And I think it can also reveal some insecurities that you have, which is kind of what Lauren
Mhm.
talked about. Like if you have on there, like she mentioned, I need someone that like plays guitar and sings, but you don't do that and you're not like, I don't know, in that industry or something, it's like, okay, why do I feel the need for someone else to have this quality that I don't possess and I don't plan on having? And I think it's like, oh, maybe it's because I feel the need to have somebody that's creative and I don't necessarily feel creative or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a lot of different things. Um, but as far as yeah, what it reveals, I do think it does shine a light on, oh, what do I really value and where am I placing where am I placing that value? So it can be pretty illuminating and like Lauren's mom called her out when she was a kid and she's like, you're being kind of vain. Like, I don't think you actually need all this stuff on there. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts.
It's good.
Honestly, Callie answered all of it. Like, I don't even know if I can like add on to what she shared. She shared it so well, but I just think it's okay to like think about your list and be like, do these things really matter? Just like go through each one and be like, does this really matter long term, like for the person I date? Or, because I know I've been on dates where I go, this guy is going through a list right now and he is trying to figure out if I match that list or not, and I feel a little crappy. Like I feel a little disregarded because I can tell I'm not meeting his list of XYZ, and it just felt like super surfacey. I remember I've been on 2 dates like that of like he's trying to figure out if I meet his criteria. And so I think being on the other side of that, it's like, wait, we're we're dating humans, like we're getting to know humans. And so allow there to be space, because I think the list usually doesn't give space for humanity. The list just gives space for like your priorities, which I don't think are bad. Like to have priorities or to have vision, you don't want to just date whoever, and you don't want to date horrible humans at the same time. Like you want to have some good standards. I think that's great. I would hope my kids would have some standards when they start to date. So I think that's good, but I think it's figuring out like what really is the most meaningful out of all of those that will build a good relationship. So yeah. What about you, Dre?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I always have had some good ones, that I'm like, I will not date someone who doesn't love the Lord. And so there's things like that, or like, isn't a hard worker. There's ones on there that you're like, okay, this is actually important. These are things that I value and that should be valued because you're thinking long term. You're not just thinking like, who's going to look cute next to me, like when we go out to dinner or whatever. It's like, okay, what kind of man do I want to like raise my kids potentially? Like what kind of character do I want him to have? And so, yeah, I think when you think about it in like a long-term way, it's great. I do think you have to, I think you have to take it pretty seriously what you put on there, because I've definitely dismissed guys for dumb reasons, as we've talked about in the past. And yeah, I think that was more around like a fear of or an insecurity in me, and yeah, just like it was just, I was like, oh, there were some things that were maybe just like young or immature of me. Like I hadn't been through enough like life stuff to know what really mattered yet. But one thing that's really helped is being around married couples that have good marriages, because they don't always, like, sometimes I'll see things like I have one married couple where like she and I have very similar humor. It's like very dry.
Come on.
And I think she's so funny. But she's married to a guy that does not like have that same humor. Like he thinks she's funny, but he can't like keep up with like her dry humor necessarily, like maybe a little bit. And that's totally something that I would have been like, oh no. So I just sometimes I'll like observe and notice things like that where I'm like, oh, like I don't know if I would have been open to that like she was, but look
Yeah.
how it worked out for her kind of
Great.
thing, you know, like because she didn't make a non-negotiable out of something that wasn't negotiable or that
Yeah.
was negotiable.
Good.
But yeah, similar to like what you guys have said and what we have said in the past on this podcast is a lot of times you're just looking for this superhuman that is going to make up for everything inside of you that, you know, you feel insecure about or you maybe don't want to work on or don't want to take ownership over. Like, I always wanted an extrovert because I didn't want to have to learn how to be outgoing and like talk to people and socialize and stuff. And so anyway, I think looking at what you can take ownership over is helpful too. And just be like, okay, is this something I really need, or is this an area in my own life that I'm like neglecting reaching maturity? You know, I'm just looking for someone else to be good at it so that I don't have to. People do that with finances, you know, they do that with a lot of different things where it's like, I'll just find someone who's good at finances. It's like, no, you need to learn how to steward your finances. Like, you know, I'm talking to myself right now. So, yeah. But okay, well, I was looking for a note that had my list. I found another note that I thought was good because this was from this girl that was talking at a women's night at church. And she had this long list of qualities for her husband, and she was talking to the Lord about it. And the Lord asked her, are you the kind of woman who can stand next to this kind of man?
Whoa, snap.
It's a
That's
good
good.
one.
It's so good. You got to hold yourself to that standard.
Yep.
If you're going to hold someone else to that standard, whatever it is.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's so true in a lot of different areas, spiritually for sure, but even like working out. Like how many people are like, oh yeah, I need someone who works out. It's like, I go, what's your workout routine? Like,
yeah. And it could look very different. Like it could be very different type of things, but it's like that you can share a value. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, let's see. I guess my last question would be, if you had like maybe a younger person who's navigating dating sitting in front of you right now, you're having coffee with them and they were asking you like, should I have a list? What would you say to them?
Lauren?
I would say yes. Well, this
Okay.
is why. Like
Okay.
because I was talking about my kids earlier, like if I had kids and I would want them to just be able to know like, hey, here are my values or like this is what I'm looking for. And I think having lists for so many different things, like I do it for the year, like I'll make a list of things I want to like goals, but I think it kind of gives you vision and then you bring it before God and you say, God, like what really matters. And I think it can change throughout the years, you know, and of what you need. But I think it's helpful for people to have standards while being open. And so I think to me, I'm always about like the values, but I think you have to almost start with writing out the list of just everything and anything
Like
that you
brain
would
dump.
want, like brain dump. And then from there, start to see like what would be themes and what really actually matters, which some of that happens through dating. But I think lists are really sweet and beautiful. I think though it's not holding too tightly to that and then not checking people off altogether just because they don't have all the different things like it, like you know and it's great if like whoa they match the whole list, that's so great. But I mean again I just think not all the time, sometimes you need to throw out the list, sometimes you need a list, sometimes you need to throw it out, so that's why there's like not too much. But I think it goes back to like, do they have good character, do they love God, do they love others, like really simple things like that can make a really great dating relationship. Can you have fun with them? Can you laugh? You know? So, but also, I don't think it's bad to be like specific at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callie?
Yeah. I think Lauren crushed it, but I would definitely tell someone younger sitting in front of me, I'd be like, yeah, write out a list, even if it feels silly, even if you're not really sure. I think it's good to just like start kind of forming what you think you want and need, and just let it evolve as time goes on. Because like I think I had a list when I was like in high school, and like I said, it's changed over the years, but it has been kind of like a good roadmap for me, and it has shown me what I value, what I'm looking for. And so, yeah, it might go through some edits, or like Lauren said, you might throw it out for a time and date someone completely different. And maybe that's like actually like a really good thing, but I do think it's just helpful. So I would recommend it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I would say have a list and pick maybe 3 non-negotiables,
Mm.
and then make everything else like this would be cool kind of
Like a
things.
bonus.
Yeah. And then don't dismiss people off of the things that it's like this would be cool. But
Yeah.
you should dismiss people off of your non-negotiables.
Yeah, I like
I feel like
Um,
I've seen you date that way, Andrea, especially the past like couple years. You've been really good at like dating people. You're like, I don't know, we'll see, but they have some of these qualities of your.
yeah.
And then as you got to know them, you'd be like, okay, actually, there's a couple like a non-negotiable that got crossed, or like
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, well, we can't get to know each other further. But you were so open, like in the
Yeah.
process,
Yeah.
which is great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Your non-negotiables are like they're very guiding in a lot of different ways. But you also have to realize like, okay, each one of these narrows down like my options, which is fine. That's what you want to do, but you also have to make sure there's a man left on earth that that does meet your standards. You know,
Yeah.
you can't eliminate everyone.
But then you also can't be open to everyone. I
But
feel
you
like
also can't be open. It's true.
think
You
I've
can't
done
have
both.
either.
I've been super narrow, and then
Yeah.
I've been like, I'll
Same.
maybe date non-Christians and like
Yeah.
be super open. Then I'm like, okay, I gotta like tighten
Yeah.
it up a little bit. So
Yeah. I've done that too. I've been way closed off and then swung to like way open. Hopefully I'm somewhere in the middle now, but you never know.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, any last thoughts, guys, on the list?
no, we had
Nope.
more to say than I thought. I
Yeah,
was impressed.
we always
Good.
do.
We
Oh,
always
it's
do.
great.
I know. Yeah.
always a good time.
Well, thanks for joining us. If you joined us for this episode, and we love you guys, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.